Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome back. It's Roll for Mischief time. You're hanging with your favorite nerds, as I like to say. The name of the game is Voloheen, Winds of War. The name of the episode 11, is Firestarter. And things have been getting pretty intense, and things are quickly
A lot of things are on
wrapping up
fire.
here. A lot of things are on
Yeah,
fire. When we when
the name was accidentally fitting.
it actually was. And when we last left our characters, this battle was finishing up, and Agner has kind of led the charge into the tower that Joran was trying to retreat through. And Agner made it so that no teleportation or extraplanar, interdimensional means of travel can be used. So you're all stuck there, damn it. You're all stuck there, and there's a lot of pissed off elves in the tower, and yeah, let's get back into it. Let's get back. Take it away,
Yeah.
Asa.
So, Leah and Halifax are outside the tower. The only two that are the closest to the outside. You have one person that you now know is a mage, who has just summoned a giant earth elemental, um, and everyone else has sort of made their way into or just to the outside of the tower. I'm going to let you two just tell me what happens in the next few moments to really get this thing moving forward and get you guys to where everyone else is at. Rather than
Okay.
running this through combat, tell me how you guys handled this situation of the Earth Elemental and the final combatant.
Um, okay. So what I would like to propose, Leah, is that Halifax, using lightning lure, throws this lightning whip around the wrist of this earth elemental, pulling him down, runs up the arm, grabs his staff and smashes it into his head, prying the rock open
Very
and forcing the whole thing to collapse, um, leaving Leah free to go to the conjurer person and
Yes.
Okay.
do
Stuff.
stuff.
do stuff. The stuff I'm going to do, I'm debating whether I want this conjurer person alive for questioning, or if I want them dead so they can't convince other people that they're good guys and we're bad guys. So I think
What
I
we
think
could
Leah
do
will
is
simply attempt to incapacitate this person. What were you going to say, Drew?
I was going to suggest, partly to move things along, but also do the thing that you wanted to do. We knock them out and have me sort of charm him so that when he wakes up, he's a bit more amenable. He's incapacitated and we can deal with him later, sort of thing.
Yeah, that was my idea. Was incapacitate him and stow him in some way that he's not going to cause mischief while we go deal with whatever is going on in the tower.
All right. And how would you do that?
Well, I would use my car eyesight thing, so when I lock eyes with someone and they can't move, they're charmed by me. Meanwhile, Leah just sort of like guides this person towards like a post or something, or tie them up. Like, what? Where are we putting them?
Maybe we should take him inside the doorway of the tower, and just like out of sight of the doorway in the corner,
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
in the shadows.
All right.
And I can use one of my abilities if it seems like this guy needs extra convincing to come with us.
Yeah, I'm gonna say in this moment you just kind of pour so much of your own emotion into him that he gets just too overwhelmed and sort of kind of just goes catatonic for a little bit. I mean, this is an example of just how dangerously his abilities can be when she really does it, but for the sake of expedience. This also would be a really
Hopefully
good
he'll
moment.
call him doing it. Wouldn't want anyone to think this is Leah.
Right. This also might be a moment for you to question, like kind of lead into what you're talking about earlier, where you've been really pissed off at Halifax for certain things. And you've kind of done something similar that maybe you should consider if
Yeah.
that falls in your ethics. So, this guy
I
is
mean, it's definitely on Leah's mind.
this guy
Self-reflection
is
so last year.
this guy's catatonic is sort of like shaking in the corner behind the door. Um,
I
Agner
suggest we
could,
still tie him up.
yeah. That sounds good. Agner could hear Jaren as he fell down the stairs, and then Agner could hear him just kind of scuffle to his feet and continue to run down the stairs. Um, this tower is, from the last time we saw it, it just was a set of stairways that came down into this doorway, and then there actually is also a set of stairways that continues to go further down to a lower level of the tower, one that we haven't explored
Mm-hmm.
since last time any of us were in this tower. It was a long time ago, and we were only going up because that's where the assassins were at.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the moment, everyone seems
I've never been in this tower.
actually the only people who have is Agner and Eridu,
True.
Oh.
True.
because I believe it was on.
It was at the end of Blood Money that happened, episode 7.
Yes, you're right.
On and Alton. Oh, I don't even think Agner was in here. Just Eridu.
Oh yeah, because I was
Doing
Yeah,
other
me.
doing
things.
the Dungeon Master thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
who's gonna take the charge here?
Well, definitely Egner. I mean, he's hot on Jorn's trail, and he is just pissed. He is pissed off.
Hmm.
So yeah, whatever it takes for him to keep following. Pretty much, he's just in this mood where he's gonna try and get up next to Jorn and then shield bash him again. And then if Jorn runs away again, he's gonna run up to him again and shield bash him again. He's trying to just keep him on the ground. He's trying to keep him in one place.
Keep hitting him with a rope.
Yeah.
Ellie would, if Ellie can see Agnes, she would be running, like, to be alongside Agnes now. And basically helping him do that with her speediness.
All right.
I presume Leah and Halifax are at the back since we were dealing with the other dude.
Yeah, when the two of you get in and you can hear people moving downstairs, the clanging of Eridu or Agner's armor, and as soon as you get in, Eridu just does his best to slam the door shut. It's a little bit broken off of the hinges. He sort of sets it, and then he does his best to wedge his staff in there so the door is kind of locked. And he turns to you, and he seems a little bit out of breath, and says, "Well, it looks like we've lost 2 of ours. How are you 2 doing?"
Little out of breath, but beyond that, seem to be holding together rather well. Where did that Joran go?
He went down, and Egner and Ellie are after him now. And there are elves down there. And he looks at Leah and says, "They are drow. I could hear them shouting. Apparently, whatever Egner did has interrupted a ritual they were working on."
Oh dear.
Feeling good.
Eridu, what are you planning on doing? Are you going to go down and confront them? Maybe you should stay here since you're all sick.
Yes, I should rest a little, but we need to find Emily. That's why we came here. And I don't know if she'd be down there.
Is our best route to Emily Jaren?
He would likely know where she is, yes.
Then our goal should be to presumably to grab him, get out of here, and maybe send some other people after the drow.
Maybe. He did go downstairs where the drow voices were coming from, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time, Eridu keeps like casting looks at the stairs leading up.
Eridu, what is above us?
This place it has memories. And he kind of looks at his palm and traces a line, and you can see where there's a bit of scar tissue that makes a perfect circle. And he says, "The last time I was here was when Ambassador Taladris was killed. We uncovered the assassins here, and they made their escape.
Hmm.
I don't know what's upstairs aside from perhaps a place, definitely a vantage point over the square. I didn't stay here long."
Leah, if I might proffer a
Yes.
suggestion, Aigna and Ellie are in pursuit of Joran. My own magics are not particularly effective against elves. Might it be prudent for us to climb the tower and ensure that we have a good vantage point? Perhaps even warn Eridu of anyone trying to push past the door and into him.
That could be more helpful. I speak Drow, don't I, Asa?
You should, yeah.
I may also be of help down below as I can understand Drow language. I also was hoping to stay and defend my brother in case things happen, but perhaps from the tower that would be better.
Then, Leah, it seems that you would be most useful following Aigna and Ellie. I will go to the top of the tower, and I shall lend defense of Eridu. I've worked with him, I care about him. Obviously not as much as you do, but I do still have feelings. So I will go up top. I shall defend using my magics as much as I can. I shall also use the aid of Tobias to lend me extra eyes. And I shall make sure that nothing will sneak up behind the three of you.
And as
Okay.
you're talking, Eridu starts to shift, and as he does, he becomes a bear that sort of pushes you two in the opposite direction as his size fills most of this entrance area. And once he is in full Eridu form, he sits down and leans his back up against the door, and kind of just goes.
Nice.
And now he seems to be a very good countermeasure against anyone trying to break into the tower.
Mm-hmm.
We have our
Okay,
task.
I'm gonna run down
Let's go.
after Agner and Ellie.
All right, and Hillfax is going in the opposite direction.
Yep, I'm gonna go up, and I'm gonna pay attention as I'm heading up. If there's like multiple floors, I'll have a quick cursory glance in, see if there's anyone like tied up there, what materials might be left around, like barrels,
Right.
crates, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'll be aiming to get to the top to survey the area.
All right, Agner and Ellie, you are rushing down the stairs just at the heels of Joran. He's maybe got about 5 feet, just outside of reach with your sword. Ahead of you, he, is able to make a way around a corner just as you see his heel. You just keep on pursuing. The stairway itself seems to be going a little bit deeper than you would expect, getting noticeably colder as you get down. In much the similar way that the cold effect that he had cast earlier seemed to be. More of a chill that you feel inside than outside. As you get to the bottom of the stairs, it is getting darker as well. There are less torches lit along this path. As you get to the bottom of the stairs, Ellie, you see Joran come to a skidding halt and throw himself behind some crates. And just as he does this, you see figures popping up, ready to loose some arrows. I will give you a chance to react. Bear in mind, Agner is moments ahead of you and doesn't see these things.
Okay. Can I jump back out of their line of sight and um, a little bit louder than a whisper to Agner to say stop?
Yeah. So
I'll
Agner.
say stop danger or
Oh,
arrows. They're gonna attack us.
oh gosh, I just like so want him to ignore it because he's such a charging bull right now.
Okay. If you want, you can
It's
give me some kind of save to make a decision. Or you can
okay.
decide to let your dexterity save, see if you're fast enough.
No, it's gonna be more of a wisdom save.
All right.
So yeah, I think I did this before, but I want Asa, I want you to set a DC for like if he succeeds, he listens to Ellie. If he fails, he just keeps on charging.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 2.
Oh, good. Yeah, you fail. You hear
Oh my
Ellie's
God.
voice, but you are sure that you can catch Jorn if you just keep going.
If I just keep going. So he's going to keep on going. For what it's worth, he will take his shield out and have his shield ready, but he's not stopping. He's putting his shield out to defend himself from whatever is going to be there.
All right. Well,
I might ask. Can I react to him just barreling past me?
uh,
I'm already ahead of you is the thing.
Yeah. But
yeah, and giving him the warning is your only reaction in this moment before
Okay.
they do their thing. All right. Oop, don't zoom in, computer. What are you doing? So
Sorry, Ellie.
I know one of these is going to miss, sure, because that just happens. But the lowest is a 21.
Well, that'll hit then.
I mean, the lowest of the two that'll actually hit
Yeah,
you.
so they'll hit then.
Yep. Okay, make me a DC 13 Constitution save twice.
A word.
And you take 11 points of piercing damage as
Yeah.
2 crossbow bolts just ting into you.
Okay, this is weird. I rolled another 2 there, and I rolled another 2 there. With my other 2, that's 3 2s in a row.
That is a lot of 2s.
It's a lot of 2s, and it's not a good number. I'd rather have 3 20s, but, you know, that's fine. So, okay, what happens?
That's a good question. You are poisoned.
Sure enough, it
Just
wasn't the first, not the first time, won't be the last time.
you're taking the poison condition. That's all it is. And the third, you hear like this snapping sound, like cursing as something snaps, and then you hear a scream, and something heavy hit the ground and start to roll around. Ellie, if you kind of poked your head around the corner, you would have seen that as one of the drow is loading the crossbow, it gets ready to aim to shoot Agner. The string snaps, launching the bolt back, and it like slices his face, and you can see like he's holding that area as his own poison effect gets him as well.
Wow.
Rolled a 1, huh?
Yeah.
He did.
It's rough. Yo, it's rough.
I'm gonna make you guys conjure earth elementals because you rolled a 1. I'm gonna make myself poison my own people. All right.
Doesn't
It
even.
happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Agner, what are you gonna do now that you're in this room with these people?
Okay. What? Oh god, what is he gonna do? Well, I think he might. Oh my goodness. He can charm person.
Okay.
He can do that. He's gonna try and like I don't know. He probably has a good sense. Like he probably smells it. He probably smells that they're drow. They're
Mhm.
right in front of him. He like smelled the poison before,
Yep.
like he just knows that they're drow. So he's gonna just focus his energies on one that he can just smell the stink of the drow right in front of him, and he's gonna focus his energies and try and take advantage of his mind in this weird way.
Okay.
And Yeah, so he has to make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
I rolled an 18.
Okay.
Natural roll.
Nice. Okay, whatever. So in that case, he's gonna run backward and just hang next to Ellie for a second, and
Mhm.
then the last thing he's gonna do is pop his second wind and try and get some hit points back.
All right.
Nice, 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 nice. All right, so that's the end of my turn.
So Ellie, as you're kind of peering over the edge of the room, this particular room seems fairly familiar. Looking at it, you notice that it opens in a very spherical shape, much like another room that you've seen.
That also had Drow in it.
Maybe. There are boxes, along the floors. This was like a area people, a storage area, but a lot of them have been pushed up against the wall, and you can see very clearly in the center is this metal disc that's just been. It looks like the floor has been built around it. This room has been designed, in this dome shape rather than being cut out of the earth. But it seems to fit with this the way that the structures for these teleportation circles have worked. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on.
Do it. Do
I'm gonna sneeze
it,
right into the
do
mic.
it,
It's gonna be so
do
great.
it, do it.
And you hear Jordan's voice call from behind one of the boxes. You're outnumbered. It's about time you all surrendered.
So the blink spell.
Yes.
I don't go invisible when I well, I don't disappear when I cast it, do I? It's just the end of the turn.
I am
I think it's
not
just the end of
that
the turn.
familiar with it.
I mean, I'll look it up.
But if we're talking, I'm looking at that. If we're talking, like, you want to do something cool,
Well, it's just because I want to try and I want to cast blink, and then disappear, and then get over to Jaren with my crazy speed, and then just be like, well, I wouldn't be able to come back out.
well,
But I'd
you
be
wouldn't.
near him.
You wouldn't be able to do it at all
Oh,
because of Agner's little thing. You vanish into the ethereal plane. You can't.
Agner.
Is true.
Agner.
Sorry.
Can't-
Why are you doing this to me? Okay.
I'm doing it to everyone. Sorry.
Okay, I tell
Well, last
Agner.
time you said that it didn't apply to-
Yeah, but he didn't
Never
choose
mind.
to not put people in it, I guess. Okay, so I'll describe to Agner what I can see, that I can see the teleportation disc thing, and that the room looks like it's built specifically for it. Also, how many drow there are in the room? Because
There are currently 3, and one of them has, is holding his face from his.
Missed it?
He's got a
Okay.
large welt just growing up on the side of his face.
Okay, that's not that many. I said, yeah, so there are 3 drow, and Jaren's behind a box that I saw him go behind. And then...
Are there any other exits that you can see?
Are
There
there?
are not. No.
No.
This room seems very singular in purpose.
Okay, so we just need to stop from getting to that. Oh, you might not be able to use teleportation circles though.
They're
anyway,
not
so-
going anywhere.
Alright, so take out the drow? Is that the
Yes.
plan? Yeah. Okay. Then I will run out to the first drow that's there and jab. Jab, jab.
You charge toward him with your sword ready, and he drops his crossbow. And the room is fairly dark. It's just a dimly lit by the nearest torch, kind of torchlight flickering from the stairwell. But you see him almost reach into the shadow, and as he does, this blade coalesces in his hands. And as you swing, he also charges towards you. Make your attack roll. Oh, good.
Can I check with those torches doing that?
Yeah.
Can I last minute change my mind?
Sure.
I'll do it. So I'll rush out towards him and then last minute change my mind. And I think I'm gonna. So I think I'm gonna cast pyrotechnics on them.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
And basically, so I'll choose whichever one is ideally within. I don't know how big the room is, but as many as I can within 10 feet of one of the torches.
It is a 30-foot domed room, just like the last one was. 30-foot in diameter from the. So you can easily get like 2 of them from the stairways, if not 3.
Okay, I'll try for 3, but whatever, you just work it out how many I do. I'll extinguish one of the torches and create fireworks from it.
Oh, cool.
Each creature within 10 feet of the target must do a Constitution saving throw or become blinded until the end of my next turn.
I will give you 2 of them, as the one who poisoned himself is like kind of crouching out of sight, and they both fail.
Nice.
Okay, so they're blind my next turn. And I still have my haste action, which I'm going to use to stab the non-blind one.
Okay. So yeah, the one that just made this sword, like, you just go charging and past him. He swings blindly, and you're able to just duck his blade really quick and pop over the boxes. And there is the one that's poisoned itself. It's his hand on his face, just like trying to deal with this. And what do you do with him? What do you do
19,
to him?
19 to hit.
Oh, that'll totally hit.
So I stab him with my rapier. And I'll do the arcane jolt as well.
Yeah.
Into it. That's all 3s. 9, 15 damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you just charge over and stab him in the shoulder, like right at the collarbone, pinning him up against the box. He gives out a holler of pain, and he's with his hand that's not held to his face. He's trying to grasp at the shadows, and you can see, like almost see these tendrils of smoke from the shadows, but he can't quite seem to focus enough to manipulate it.
Can I shout back to Eigner? They're blind.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, because that's good news to Eigner. He's got
Yeah.
an advantage, hardcore advantage on blind fools.
I know what that's like.
For real.
It's Agner's turn.
All right. Well, he's gonna go kind of support Ellie as much as he just wants to pounce on Jorn right now. He wants to help Ellie, and
Okay.
He's gonna go just straight up to the first drow that he can, and he's gonna wreck this drow's day.
All right.
Okay, let me pull up my. Gosh, let me pull up the right numbers here. Having a hard time. Oh, there it is. All right. So first attack roll on this fool, since I have advantage, is a natural 19. So that's actually a crit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. His weapon got upgraded, guys. It's super hot.
Crits on a 19 and 20.
Definitely. So he does 18 slashing damage to that fool with the first attack.
The one who just made the swing at Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. So.
Go on.
And the second attack is a 22 to his AC. No, it's actually 24. And then he's going to turn this one into a maneuver. And that is going to be 19 slashing damage. And then he's going to do the trip attack on that fool. So he has to make strength saving throw, DC 15.
All right. So what Agner does is he just charges forward, and one big swoop, he just kind of slices. It does a shallow slice across the guy's chest. He staggers back, and then looking blindly, he attempts to swing with his shadow sword, as Agner just does like a sweep, just take him out with the sword at the knee, and then flips his blade up and stabs it into his chest. The shadow blade disappears as Agner can start to hear someone scrambling from behind one of the boxes.
So, did I just take out that drow entirely?
You did.
I
Yep.
did. Excellent. So I can tell that that fool's done. How much movement did I have to use to get up to him?
About 10 feet.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to use the remaining 20 feet, if I can, to get right next to Joran.
Okay. You make your way towards the scrabbling noise, the noise of somebody getting up, and as you do, you hear movement just slightly to your left. You duck as something swooshes right over the top of your head.
Oof.
And then you take a few more steps forward, and Joran, you hear Joran's voice almost ahead of you. Stay back! I won't hesitate to use this. Of course, you have no idea what he's talking about.
Of course, I have no idea, but Egner is not really that bothered. He just says, Joran, you're gonna come peacefully, or you're gonna come with us unconscious. Your choice. And then he'll just charge forward with his shield, and he's gonna use his bonus action to try and shield bash him.
All right.
So opposed athletics.
Oh, I'm just gonna. You don't have any more actions left, do you?
It's a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
I just
Yes.
did that. Oh, I failed.
It seems that Joran is savvy to this trick. Just as you go to shield bash, he lashes out really quickly, and you feel something almost razor sharp jut across your arm, right above where your shield is defending, and that lick of damage is enough to distract you, and you're not able to actually like collide with him with the shield. And you take. That's not a whole lot of damage because it's a dagger. Where's my D4? There it is. All right, you take 4 points of 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay. All right, now this is the end of my turn.
Am I there
Okay.
yet?
So I was gonna get to that. Yeah, you start to head down the stairway, and you think you're only maybe 20 feet behind them. I don't know, it's maybe less than that or more than that, because you talk to Eridu and everything. So yeah, you start to rush down the stairs, and after a while, you can hear the sounds of people's voices and clashing. Another. I'm just going to go ahead and say for the sake of Ellie and Agner, another round of combat would go by in which Ellie would probably put an end to the drow with the poison himself. The other drow is just continuing to flash his shadowy sword around the room, but not get close to anybody. And you're able to get down there. I would even say by now, Agner would have a chance to just pin Joran to the wall with his shield. And you get down there to that particular.
To just bring everything's over.
Just as everything's not over, but like reaching a closer climax. Yeah, there's one drow in the middle of the room, just kind of swinging wildly. Ellie's just finished off her drow. Agner's got Joran pinned to the wall. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna probably try to incapacitate the remaining drow. I would like to be able to speak to one of them just to figure out what's going on, although that's secondary, I think, to getting Joran. But I mean, opportunities here. I speak drow. Seems like it might be useful. So I'm going to I'm not going to use one of my few remaining spell slots for this. I'm just going to attempt to knock the drow out. How
Okay.
do you want me to use a spell on that, or just?
Why don't you do an Eldritch Blast, and we'll
It is kind
treat
of all I know how to do, apparently.
Yeah. it's- Warlocks. That's what they do. Do
All
that,
we do.
but we'll treat it as like a you doing kind of what you did to the other guy that we sort of hand waved, where you're just pushing your emotions into him and trying to just overwhelm him. You have advantage on the attack rolls because he's blind.
So that means I can
Roll,
re-roll.
roll twice and
Oh.
take the higher result
Yes.
Okay.
for each attack.
Okay, but that's 3 of them, so am I rolling 6? Whatever.
Yeah,
You
it's
are
like
you
2
are
at a
rolling
time.
6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so the first one was 15.
Mhm.
The second one, well, that's a good roll, so I'm not sure I can top that. No, I did not top that. Is 26.
Mhm.
And let's try that one again. Nope, that was even worse. The last one is 12.
Okay. So the 15 and the 26 hit.
Okay.
And
Mind bullets.
yeah.
Rolling
roll
a
me
thingy.
roll me the damage. Yeah.
Oh, math. 13.
Okay. Yeah, you just seem to pepper him. He just his shadowy sword dissipates. He grabs his head, as he's being just as he seems to just becoming more disoriented, with his own blindness. What else?
I don't want him to die, so
Right.
hopefully whatever doesn't make him die.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to also talk to the rest of the party?
Yes, sure. So Ignar has Jaren
Up against the
pinned.
wall. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I'll tell them kind of what's going on right now. Erdu's blocking the door. Halifax is watching from above to make sure we don't get interrupted. I see that we have Jaren now. Let's take out this guy and not kill him because it might be useful to question him later to find out what all this is about. But it sounds like this is going to be our priority, the Jaren thing. So, do you need my help with Jaren?
Yes. Agnar's just kind of like shaking his head while Leah's given the whole status update, and he's just like in the middle of it, and then he's like, "Yeah, that sounds great. Okay."
I'm trying to decide if we should try and relocate ourselves to somewhere that isn't going to have a bunch of guards rushing in, but maybe this is actually pretty secure right now, so we should just do it while we're here.
Yeah, I think Ellie would say, make him talk. Where's Emily?
Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, keep. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say at this point, like Jaren's he's got one hand,
He's
gripping
got one
the shield. He's got one hand. He's got one hand gripping the shield, and then it looks like there's another hand gripping the shield, but you can see that it's like a spectral glowing hand. And he's got his other arm pushed up against his body. Of course, there's no hand on that. But he is, he's failing to fight against Agnar's might. He's dropped his dagger. It's down by his feet now. He's gritting his teeth, kind of just pushing with all his might, but he sort of husks out, "None of us are gonna surrender and tell you what you want to hear." So
Can I point my sword at him and just say, you just watch it or I'll take the other one?
you can. And I'm actually going to go ahead and switch over to Halifax with that line. Halifax, you make your way up. This tower's not incredibly tall. It's tall enough to get a good overlook of square, but it's maybe only about 3 stories high. The first story you come up to, and it's got a small room with a window. It's a little like murder hole overlooking the square. But that one seems to be just used at this point for storage. There's some boxes and barrels up there. Nothing really of overly of a lot of value right now. Mostly it's just just trying to think about what they'd store in a tower. But odds and ends, things that you would use in magical rituals. As you go to the next level, you can hear voices as you're getting a little bit further up. 2 voices, 2 men discussing, or 2 people discussing It sounds like the rules of a game. And what are you gonna do in response to that?
I'm gonna go slower and
Yep.
try and move up as silently as I can.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I want to hear more about this. Like, is it them genuinely discussing the game, or is this some sort of like cant where they're obscuring what they're really talking about, or is it an allusion to some great scheme or something?
Okay.
And see also if I can recognize it. The voices.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me that roll.
Okay. Ooh, I'm not rolling terribly today, which is good. So I rolled a 16. I got +3 for stealth, so that's 19 for the stealth.
Mm.
Perception is less good. I got a 7 total to that.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna go too far out of it with the perception, but you're able to make your way up the stairs pretty quietly, and this room, like the other, is it's a small room with a murder hole overlook thing. There's no door, so you're able to make it and kind of like duck behind that, and you're able to kind of peek, but you don't want to give too much of yourself away by looking too far into the room. You can see though these two people, robed figures, sitting crisscrossed in the center of the room. They have all kinds of little like coins and what look to be what are cards, but you get kind of at a quick glance. And they are discussing, what has higher numeric values amongst a certain combination of these cards. And as far as you being able to put together if it's some sort of code, you're not really sure. And then one of them, you hear him say, "I did hear some noise from outside. Do you think we should have checked on that?" And the other one says, "I really don't want to worry myself with what Jordan's got planned. I think that we should get this situation done with and go back to the bureau as soon as we can."
Okay.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
You know what? Let's see. Do I still have another slot? Ooh, I do have another slot for altar cell.
Ooh. That's some tricksy, hillofaxy stuff.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, I can change my appearance with alter self. I'm gonna change myself to look like Joran.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now there is a verbal component to this, so I may get discovered for casting this spell, but I don't know, I'll cough over it. Abracadabra.
All right. You had a high enough stealth check earlier. I'll give it to you.
Brilliant. So yes, as Joran, I'll just like straighten my sleeves. Joran with 2 hands.
They
2-hand Joran, they call me.
you hear scuffling, and as you turn into Jordan and kind of like go towards the peer around the corner of the door, you see them like they've just slid all the cards off to the side, off to the side, kind of out of view. There are a few coins and a card or two that they've missed, but they just both kind of start to the feet. And Jordan, we weren't expecting you.
No, it seems you weren't. What is the meaning of all this? I shall point to the cards that I could see.
The one who was shocked by your presence starts talking. The other one just puts her head out and says, "Look, this is pointless. We've come here. We've delivered Emily like you planned to. Why are we still here?"
All in good time. Now, you heard things downstairs, didn't you?
Yeah, there was sound in the square. There's still sound in the square, apparently, but Yes.
So it seems that they've come looking for her. I
Who?
want
Those fools who followed us into the woods.
exactly. Yes.
Well,
Things aren't quite going according to plan. I'm gonna need you to escort me to Emily. I want to make sure that she's safe myself.
look, I wasn't really on board with this diversion in the first place, but you convinced us we would be well compensated for our time. But to go back to Orn and his men just to see if she's safe, that seems like a pretty big diversion. The director is going to expect us pretty soon. In fact, he probably already expected us hours ago.
You know what? You're quite right. You go back to the director, you'll be duly compensated. I'll take things from here. When you go downstairs, just tread lightly. I think I heard, I don't know, a small creature like a dog or something.
Right. And he goes, he kind of gives you a weird look about, and then starts to make a hand gesture, and you can tell he's beginning to oh no, he wouldn't do that because that's not how that teleportation works. He takes his emblem on his chest, the ISCB one, and begins to like touch certain parts of it, and it begins to glow, and then as it fully glows, it just stops, and nothing happens, and he just looks at you and says, I can't teleport out of here.
Yes, hence why I was warning you about downstairs. They've done something, which is why I was wanting the escort. I can't just go there. Head downstairs, get out of the field that's been created by that Aigner, that damned handsome fool, and you'll be able to teleport from there. Just make sure you're a good clear distance.
Now, I haven't asked a lot of questions. I've let our mutual respect for one another speak for itself, Joran. You've always been a person to get things done. But come on, what is really going on here?
I wouldn't say the respect is exactly mutual. Speaking a bit above your station there, aren't we? Off you go to the ISCB. I have my own tasks to attend to. Just a quick question. Is this the top floor?
No, it's the second to top floor.
Second to top floor. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to get anything from going all the way to the top floor now, actually. So, I'm gonna make some excuse to be like, actually, you know what? I left the stove on, and oh look over there, a bear, and run downstairs to the actual bear. I'm gonna make my hasty exit because, yep, Halifax does not know how to get out of this one.
Awkward.
Yep.
Awkward.
You're doing so well.
I was doing reasonably well, but now I'm all excited at knowing roughly where she is. That I want to run and tell you guys. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm also gonna run past the bear and gesture to Eridu like behind me, just in case he's.
Oh no.
You know, if he's barely inclined.
You run out of the room as they start to protest to what you're. One of them starts to protest to what you're saying, and then he sort of shouts, and then starts to make his way after you, and you don't know what happens after that, but you do know that when you look over your shoulder as you're running down the stairs, they're not pursuing you. Heading over to everyone else and my dogs who are barking. which they'll continue to do because I didn't leave my door open. Um, everybody else, what are you guys doing? We were Jaren, and what is the last thing that Ellie said?
Watch it or I'll take the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Putting my sword at him. The same sword that took that.
Jaren just stops struggling.
Yeah. Too right. No, I
And-
say good boy. Put the sword away.
He looks at the drow who's batting away at nothing and seems to just like be absolutely unaware, or like has no idea what's going on. And then the other dead ones, and he drops his shoulders and says, "Fine, I surrender."
Leah, make him talk.
I'm gonna go on. Yeah, I'm gonna charm him. He doesn't know me. I'm very
Okay.
charming.
And how?
So I need to make a save.
So charming. I'm actually using charm monster because that's the one I have instead of charm person, but it shouldn't make a difference except that I can use it on more people elsewhere.
I do believe the difference is that it doesn't actually affect humanoids.
It really. It just says
Yeah.
creature. Humanoids are creature.
I don't know.
Well,
Um,
it does say creature.
All right, if there is,
anything, but
I'm pretty sure creature kind of counts for everything.
Yeah.
my understanding
Alright.
was that it covers everyone instead of just humanoids.
Okay.
Yeah, it would
Interesting.
say beasts if it was meaning like animals. Creatures encompasses all living things that aren't constructs. And
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is
undead
interesting
still
wording.
count
So
as creatures though, which is weird.
okay,
You think
so he
what
makes a
doesn't-
wisdom save.
Sorry,
yeah,
what was that? Alex?
16.
Okay.
No,
Uh,
I got it.
Oh, okay.
he fails. So what are you? So charming just makes him regard you as friendly, right?
Yes. So I'm going to, without necessarily lying to him, I'm going to say, listen, we can all work this out. You seem like a person who has always been very committed to your cause, but at the moment, we need assistance with our cause, and there's no reason why we can't come to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. Maybe just tell us a bit of why you're doing this. What are you doing here?
He kind of gives Agner and Ellie a bit of more of a harsh look and says, "If you get your muscle to ease off a little bit, I'll talk to you, but only you. Those two need to leave."
Agner just, relaxes and he just throws his hands up a little bit and he's like, okay, all right, take it away. If you'll allow me a quick little liberty before Agner steps out of the way, when Ellie was describing the room to him, would she have said there's also one of those little metal discs sitting on
Yeah.
the floor in the center?
I said
Yeah,
this-
she did say that. Yeah.
She did say that. Okay. So then Agner will walk over and feel around on the ground and try and find where the metal disc is, and he'll take it. He'll put it in his pack.
Oh, so these things are set into the ground.
Oh.
They're about like 5 foot in diameter, and they're
Oh, they're like huge. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, he'll think about it and he'll touch the metal disc and it won't move off of the ground, and then he'll growl a little bit in frustration and then just walk away.
I guess he wouldn't really know what the discs look like that have these been activating all this time.
No clue.
Yeah. Once you guys, Ellie and Agner, are at least, a little further off, if not out of the room entirely, he'll just, he will, slump down against the wall and look up at Leah and say, "So what do you want to know?"
It sounds like you've been in the business of kidnapping young women. What's up with that?
It's not
That doesn't
something
seem
I
like
like
you,
to do.
my friend.
What?
Oh, it was just that. It's like, oh, that doesn't seem like you, my friend. Who is my friend?
Oh, right. Yeah, newest orders from a newer boss. Can't say that I'm always a fan of them, but it's supposed to be worth it in the end.
And who is this newer boss? This is the first I've heard of such a person.
Yes, well, unless you are a member of the ISCB, don't have a lot of reason to know many of our employers. Uh, it's you can kind of sense coming off of him. There's a lot of confusion just surrounding his person when it comes to trying to hash out this new boss. You know, I've only recently been having these dreams. They're dark dreams, full of fire and death and things moving in the smoke in the sky. Terrible beings that are just waiting to consume all the carnage that is to come. And there is a voice that's been telling me that this can be avoided if I just do the right things. I didn't think kidnapping Emily would be a big deal, really. But the more I go along this path, the more I wonder if it's the right choice.
I think your instincts in questioning yourself are correct. And I want to help you help yourself. I want to help you become the better person that you're supposed to be. I would not trust this new boss of yours. I think you're better than that. Could you tell me where you've put Emily, and we'll be able to help you become a better person?
Mhm.
Also, she's very sincere.
Right.
Not even lying.
He says, have I really become that bad?
I think that you have caused a lot of people who know you a lot of feelings of betrayal and pain as they see the person that you've become.
Wasn't supposed to be like that. I've surrendered Emily to Orin Vitrell. His guards took her this morning, shortly after we arrived.
Does Orin Vitrell also serve your higher master?
I don't know, but
Hmm.
I was told through a dream that making this bargain with him would avert a war. I don't know if you've seen, but the dwarven troops are lined up along the western coast. They're looking to invade, and they're looking to start here at Twin Harbors. If giving up Emily could stop that.
I am with you 100% in attempting to avert war, but I don't think kidnapping a young woman is the correct way to do it. I think there can be another way.
But what? I work
That's
best
what
when
I'm
I have a solution.
Find out.
Okay. Right. Well, and for a moment, he the drow behind you is still kind of like flailing, and it almost seems like he's in combat with something that's not there. He slams into the wall, kind of being an extreme distraction from what's going on. And Jaren, as you kind of look over and you look back, Jaren's just got this pained look on his face, and his eyes are sort of distant. The phrase "he's retreated behind his eyes" is what I want to use right now. And I would like you to roll a perception check.
Sure. $11.
Okay.
It wasn't a great roll.
Yeah. So you don't notice until it's pretty much too late, but with a quick movement, his left hand just slashes across his own throat, and you've noticed that he's holding the dagger.
Oh no!
Oh.
I went too far!
Oh my god. I mean, like, kind of speaking out of character for a second, I mean, Egner, it's just such dramatic irony because Egner, if he could see the Z, he would know, like, this fool is Zarkon's puppet, dude. And it was probably Zarkon taking over his fucking mind and making him do that, dude. I mean, like, you know, we don't know, but if Egner could see and make the connections, that's what he would be saying. Well, shit.
While that's going on,
I don't know that. Is he too fast for me to use Spare the Dying on him? Oh no!
no, you could do Spare the Dying on him for sure. He's not dying so fast that it wouldn't work.
Okay, I want to use Spare the Dying to keep him from actually killing himself.
Okay. So yeah, as soon as that happens and he drops, you just put your hands to his throat and cast Spare the Dying on him.
He's at least stable.
Ellie, Agner, by now you would have run into Halifax on the stairs. If you probably, I don't know what you guys planned to do in the time that you weren't around, so that this interrogation could happen.
I think we would have just stepped out of the room. I wouldn't have thought we'd have gone far.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone far either. And
Just like out of sight, literally.
and to be honest, with Egner's super hearing, he probably was picking up on at least some of that.
Probably sitting and eavesdropping. That's kind of what I figured would be happening.
Yeah.
And before that conclusion of the conversation happens, so about the time that it seems that Leah's getting information out of Jarn or getting him to see her point of view, Halifax comes up from behind you guys on the stairs. Hopefully he doesn't still look like Jarn, but he might.
Well, Egner doesn't care.
But does he?
I do still look like Duran.
I'm just gonna blink. Agner.
Yeah.
Might be a slight problem. I
What?
was like backing up against the wall.
What now?
What?
What
Does
now?
is he missing a hand?
No, he's
Maybe-
not.
Nope.
Huh. You're not the real one.
It's the old Duran two hands trick. No, I am not, and I'll then allow the vision to drop.
Why would you do that to his Halifax?
Oh,
Now's not the
Halifax.
time for you. Did I say Halifax? Why would you do that?
I hadn't considered it until I saw your reaction. I took on the disguise and discovered where they're keeping Emily.
Where?
She's being held by Orin Betrell.
The trail.
Yeah, that's the guy.
This is so much dirtier than I thought it was. This is... it disgusts me, the whole thing. Vitrell's
Well-
wrapped up in this.
Leah is currently interrogating Joran.
Good one.
Yes.
Well, let's see what more information we
Yeah,
can
what
get
is the
out.
timeline in this?
So probably about now is when you would be reacting to him slitting his own throat.
Right. Probably swearing. All you hear is just someone in the other room going, "Ah, shirt!"
About the same time, you would also hear a bear roar come from the top of the stairs. And maybe, yeah, some voices as well, some shocked and surprised voices.
Did we have a bear? What is that?
Baradu.
Okay.
Egner would, as if these things are happening at the same time, he would have a hard time deciding what to respond to, but he would really have a vested interest in like checking out the situation with Joran first.
Mhm.
So he would rush into the room and just say, "Leah, what's going on?"
Help me keep him alive!
Okay. And then he'll
I
rush.
didn't do it!
Yeah, okay, I believe you. And then he'll go down and he'll touch Joran and use Cure Wounds, just as a instant kind of reaction to what Leah said.
Mm-hmm.
And Joran gets 7 hit points back for whatever that's worth.
It's worth 7 hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start to see the cut across his throat start to sort of knit itself shut a little bit. He's still got blood stained down the front of his armor. and Egner, you can, as the vitality comes into him, you can feel his strength as he's gripping the knife and he's trying to pull it back.
Aw.
himself.
Can I come down and cut his other hand off? I'm not even joking. If you can cure him back again, I'll do it.
Well, don't have a lot
Do
of
what?
don't have a lot of healing spells left to help
Alright.
with that. But Egner will try and grab the arm and just like restrain him and even try and disarm him if you want to do like a little contest out of it.
Oh no, he's lost enough blood that you could do that without any real.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll take the dagger.
Mhm. Yeah, you just grab his arm, pull the dagger out of his hand. Ellie, you can be in there too. Halifax, I don't know which of the two scenarios you needed to respond to.
Yeah, so I think we need to go. I think we've been here for too long. So I am going to step down into the room and say, I could make him small. Let's pick him up and run.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's get
just
out.
as long as we can prevent him from killing himself again.
It'll
Or
last a
attempting
minute.
to.
Agner has his dagger. Gotta pick him up and we're just gonna have to run for it, I think. Collect Eridu on the way. Yeah? Halifax?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm in support of this plan.
Did you also go down, Halifax?
I did.
Okay.
I
All of you have
wouldn't
gone
have
into the
gone.
bottom chamber.
Yeah. I wouldn't have gone all the way into the room while he's like gushing with blood and stuff. Yeah. But yeah. I've gone down and briefed people on what I know.
Okay. It's a con save on the reduce spell.
Oh. I mean, I'll just let him be reduced because he's mostly incapacitated.
Oh.
All right, someone pick up Tiny Joran and let's get the hell out of here.
Pick him up, put him in a bag.
I guess we'll just have to leave the other drow behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a Mike TV situation from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, as you guys start to make your way up the stairs, you hear another loud roar and a crash, and there are now shouts and flashes of light coming from the top of the stairs. and then you hear a voice just echo through the whole building. You are all surrounded, and you are under arrest. Come out quietly, or we'll be forced to break this door down.
Agner,
Yes.
can you get rid of the anti-teleportation or not?
No. Well,
Oh.
actually, it. I think it can be done away with. It just takes a special kind of thing. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at talking about magic. I really don't know what it is. So what he's trying to do is because he really has no idea how to explain it, but he's trying to tell you guys that you need to dispel it.
Oh,
You need
okay.
to
I
use
dispel
like
magic.
yeah, you use dispel magic and then you can do that.
Let's go through the teleportation disc.
Okay.
That seems smart.
Let's teleport out. Let's think about Oren Vitral, whatever his name is. I know what his name is.
Let's take the drow with us.
Yeah, screw it. Take the drow too. Let's go.
Okay.
We're not going out the front doors. There's too many people.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
In that case, Agner will scream, Beridu!
Yeah, I mean, Eridu's already charging down the stairs in bear form. As you guys were kind of deciding to teleport instead, he comes charging down. You can see, several wounds. Like he's got hit by a few spells, and he's got a few like cuts here and there. And something flashes overhead and crashes into the ceiling. But he is clearly being pursued by two people with magical capabilities.
Oh gosh. All right.
Um,
So in that case, Agner will run as quickly as he can and try and coordinate with Ellie while Ellie dispels the effect.
mhm.
He will quickly whip out Talon's blade, and it's been a while since he's seen Oren Vitrell, but he's seen Oren Vitrell. He's heard Oren speak, and he's going to bring the image of that disgusting human into his mind and try and focus on him, and he'll whisper.
Wow, we're just gonna go right for it.
Well,
If possible, as
We
close as we
try
can
and
get.
aim for somewhere near Orin.
huh?
What's fun in that?
Wait, fine. What? What?
Someone
you
near
say?
him.
What is
Someone
everyone
near
saying?
him.
Yeah,
Someone near him.
like not go like
Somewhere.
right there.
I mean, to be fair, I don't have the spells to have another big fight. But, you know.
Okay. Well.
Or Emily, but we don't know how this works. Like,
Okay.
Does it need another teleportation?
Okay.
That
So
is alright.
Actually, so we just need to get the hell out of here and go like have a safe place to be,
Yeah.
essentially. Okay. So then, actually,
Yeah.
Egner is going to think of like the last place that he teleported them through that has one of those discs, which
Clearing
was
that.
where they found Ethel.
Mhm.
Or was it John Son's goods clearing?
That
Yeah,
place, I mean, in theory, you could think about that, but there was a very specific circumstances that led to you guys being able to teleport there.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, Egner would not trust John Sonsgood at this point because he knows that Vitrell's wrapped up in all this stuff with the ISCB and all of that, you know. So anyway, so he thinks of that place where they rescued Ethel from that was just a totally abandoned, totally empty place with no one there. He'll think of that, and he'll just say, "Let's get the fuck out of here," as he touches Talon's blade to the disc.
You touch Talon's blade to the disc. The energy expands from the disc, and something happens that you haven't actually seen happen before, and that is that at the center where the disc is at, instead of just this electrical energy that comes out from around it, this gateway opens, and it looks in a similar design to the kind of gateway that that Jaron had tried to use with his when he tried to teleport away, but it is got like intertwined purple energy around this this gate, and then it's just a black opening. And that hovers for a moment, and you guys aren't immediately teleported away at all. You just see that gate. Upon that, the drow seems to be seems to have kind of come enough to his senses, or at least be able to see now, that he just darts right into it. You hear upstairs the door break, and footsteps are hammering the stairs coming down towards you.
Well, Agner just assumes that he did it right, and he lunges forward.
Oh no! Can someone maybe grab him? Who's closest to him?
Yeah, I think I'd shout, it isn't right, and try to hold on to him.
Okay. If you physically grab him and stop him, then he'll say, "What do you mean it's not right?"
The drow gate, the drow went through it. It's not how it normally is. Try again.
Do we have many options?
Try again.
Okay. And then he'll just smack Talon's blade on the disc again.
As he does, the gateway expands further. And is he the closest to it?
Yeah.
It expands and kind of covering Agner, and he's gone.
Okay, I mean, I'm holding on to him. So
Well, I guess we have
So
to...
is Ellie.
Okay. In we go.
Yeah, so Baradu climbs in too.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys went into the inky darkness.
Upper dark
black
black
darkness?
That's
Upper-
what you went into.
Dark black darkness.
I'm from upper black darkness.
Yeah. I am only slightly better at naming conventions than Eric when put on the spot. With that, and by that I do mean your son, Drew.
I assumed so.
Not my
Right.
husband.
No. With that, we're going to end because it is a little after our ending time.
Yeah, and what better place to end than stepping into an inky black darkness of who knows what?
I know what it is.
Of course you do.
So
Well-
Odessa knows what.
Well, thank you for joining us today. This has been Roll for Mischief. Join us next week, next Tuesday afternoon, 12 Pacific time, and we'll see what this inky black upper dark black darkness actually is. Have a good one, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.